I always feel like my longevity is just a case of training smart. I feel like a lot of people, especially when they start out, they train like lunatics, and you know, they go in and they just lift heavy all the time and they don't do a lot of the things that they need to do in terms of recovery, stretching, foam rolling. That's something that I've really had to look at later on in my career in terms of recovery and just feeling a lot healthier. Hi, I'm Terry Hollands. I'm going to take you through my upper and lower body warm-up routine. Okay, so I'm going to take you through my two warm-ups, two warm-up protocols I do. One for lower body, one for the upper body. Obviously on upper body sessions, I do the upper body one, lower body sessions, lower body. If I was doing something like an event training day, where I was doing a bit of everything, I would do both, obviously, before my workout. So this is not including all your warm-up lifts and stuff like that in terms of like, as you're building the weights up, it's more just to get yourself functioning okay, bit of mobility stuff and a bit of stretching just to get ready to start the session. So, first thing, we'll start with a lower body one. First thing, nice and simple, just gonna come into this position. This is great for squats and deadlifts, but more squats. So you're basically just coming into that position, keeping your heels on the floor, just gradually stretching your knees outwards. You should get a good stretch in the groin, a little bit in the glutes as well, and the hips. I tend to sort of have a little wiggle around as well, just to sort of feel if I've got any tightness. If obviously somewhere feels a little bit extra tight, I'm staying in that position a little bit longer. So that's the first thing I would do. I would try and hold that for 20 seconds. All stretches I tend to hold for around about 20 seconds. Next thing, I go through a bit of rolling through my hip, glute and quad. So I usually use a ball, which is a little bit easier. So I would start with my psoas, which is sort of just up around here. It's part of your hip flexor. That gets tight on a lot of people. A lot of people have a lot of back pain and they think, you know, they've got something wrong with their back when actually it's hip flexors and psoas are just tight as hell. So it's really important to do. Good thing to use is like for a smaller person, a lacrosse ball, I use one that's a bit bigger because obviously I'm a little bit chunkier than most people are. And it's just literally to the side of your belly button, just in there, and you'll literally just lay on it, roll yourself up and down, kind of like if this was a ball in this position. You can still get it a little bit with a foam roller, just not as well. So you're just literally going to work up and down, feel where there's any sore points, and try and go from there. So that's the first point. Second point is just below that, but you're going to work right through down to your lower quad. So you're going to start sort of at the top of your quad, gradually sort of working your way down, feeling if you've got any tightness on the way through. Actually, I'm not feeling too bad today, but yeah, so you're basically just trying to feel if you've got any tight spots, any sore spots, just working that area a little bit longer. Gradually just work your way through, all the way down to the bottom, so it's close to your knee. You're gonna work down to sort of around this position. Obviously my kneecap's here, so just above the kneecap. Working back up, we're gonna come up the side of the quad, almost hitting the IT band a little bit. So you're more on the side. It sort of gets quad and IT band if you sort of move around. But this is an area, again, a lot of people have issues with. Same sort of thing. People think they've got back problems a lot of the time. It's just tightness in all these areas. You keep all that loose and it will, a lot of the time, completely relieve any back pain. Obviously not always, but sometimes. So yeah, you're gonna work right through, all the way up the quad, coming up onto where it attaches on the hip and where your glute medius is. Work all through that area, just flush it through again. Just take your time, you're not rushing. So that's the next thing. Last thing on this foam roller, we're gonna do the glute. So you basically, glute and piriformis, sit on a foam roller, try and get your foot up here. I'm not particularly flexible, so it's not that easy for me to get in this position. You're just, again, gonna roll around and you're going right up into the top of the glute where your piriformis is. Again, that's a big area for problems for people thinking they've got back pain. Again, it's often a tight piriformis. Also, it can cause sciatica problems as well. So it aggravates the sciatic nerve if that's inflamed. So again, another area that you can really concentrate on. So glute and piriformis on the foam roller by sitting on it like that. 2 more things, hamstring stretch. So again, for when I'm gonna lift, having like a long, heavy stretch is not necessarily a good thing. So really getting into a big stretch is not great. So some dynamic stretches can sometimes be good. Just swinging your leg up, things like that. So I like to do it like, we're not trying to get into like a real deep stretch where we, you know, are stretching for long periods of time. So prior to lifting, you want to just warm the muscles and prepare them to lift. So I do this by pulling that down, pulling my leg down to my chest and stomach, and I'm going to try and drive my toe upwards, straight up, but also this way, to get a good stretch into the hamstring. And while I'm pushing upwards, I'm trying to hold down as well at the same time. So to give you an idea, at the moment, that's about where my flexibility is at. That's quite tight. So after I've done this, like I'm trying to hold that down all the time I'm doing this. So let it off, go a second time. And again, then you can see my flexibility is much more improved. So I do that, both legs. All of this is everything I've done on one side, you would do on both sides. But yeah, that's a great hamstring stretch just for warming up. And then last but not least, it's called the couch stretch. So we're basically gonna put your toes up on the end of a bench or any sort of platform, and you're trying to then push your hip forwards just to get a bit of a stretch. Again, that's gonna work through that area you was foam rolling earlier, through the center of the middle of the thigh. Push your hips forward. Let's get a nice stretch. Again, this is hip flexors and quad. Just hold it, again, 20 seconds. Don't stretch too hard, but just a nice gentle stretch where you can feel it a bit. And you're done. So that would be my lower body warm-up process I would do before I even start lifting. So I do that every lower body session and every session where I'm training everything. I would perhaps even, if I had a lot of tightness in those areas, do it on days where I'm not training my lower body as well. So my legs, hamstrings, my quads, hamstrings, glutes were particularly tight. Maybe the day after I've done deadlifts or squats, I would then add that in as well. So now the upper body one. So what I would do for this personally is, again, both sides, we're gonna just foam roll the lats. This is good for overhead pressing. It's a good warm up because sometimes your lats can be super tight and stop you getting into good strong position. So we're basically gonna be in this position on the floor and we're gonna roll up and down there. So something like, so arm straight out in front, and I'm basically gonna work my way through my lat. You can feel, again, if you've got any sore spots, just stay there for a little while, just sort of wiggle it around a little bit. Just work your way through. Start at the bottom of your lat, work all the way up to your shoulder, pretty much into your armpit. Just keep working through there. I'm actually really tight there. This is quite sore for me, but yeah, so we work through there. So again, that's the first thing we'd do. Second, I'd do a couple of stretches. Again, this is good for mobility shoulders, in the shoulders before overhead pressing, but it's also good just for getting everything working as it should. So the first one, just loop a band over, grab hold of it. We're gonna pull back till we've got a bit of a stretch in the band. We're then gonna sit the hips down and twist away. So we're basically trying to elongate that lat as much as possible. So I've got some tension pulling my arm this way, and then from that position, I'm gonna twist my hip back, sit down, and really sort of try and open that lat up as much as possible. So basically we're gonna go, that's just me holding it, and then we're gonna twist away and we're gonna try and, yeah, really open that lat up as much as possible. And you'll feel a stretch right the way through, up into your armpit as well. Again, 20 seconds-ish. Next one, just pull that through like that. It's a very simple one. I'll show you my good shoulder actually. So we're gonna come in this position, get a stretch through. Again, try and keep your elbow in. Stand slightly this side so you're trying to get your arm in that kind of position. Again, I'm not very flexible, so it sometimes looks a little bit weird. Keep the elbow in, you're gonna get a stretch through the lat, tricep as well. Again, hold for about 20 seconds. This is, again, good for shoulder mobility, good for overhead pressing. Gets everything moving as it should be. Again, 20 seconds on that. Last but not least, really simple one. It's almost like foam rolling your triceps. Set the bar up like this. We're gonna get in position, sort of like this, and we're just gonna work our way through. You find any sore spots, you're just gonna literally just open your arm up and just keep moving around, finding all the sore spots. Just gradually sort of work until it starts to ease a little bit. Again, don't overdo this, but put a bit of time into it, maybe 30 seconds, maybe a bit longer if you've got some really sore triceps, but yeah, and then you can also just do a little roll without sort of moving your arm as well. It's basically, we're foam rolling for the triceps, but using the bar to do it. It's just a good, comfortable position to do it. Work through both triceps, then you're pretty much ready to go. Hopefully you liked the video. Hopefully it was a big help for you. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let us know how you get on with it. Being one of the strongest men in the world for all these years has meant everything to me. It's been my life for 15 years. You know, you spend every day you're in pain in some way or another. You have to be able to sort of put your mind in a place to be able to do the things you do. Honestly, I'm like, I can't not have competitive things in my life. I just can't. It's f***ing terrible. Like, I'm like, I can't help it. I have to win. I've literally dedicated my life to it, and it has become everything. It has literally been my life.